Hey everybody, we're back. This time with what are we? Episode 8? We're on episode 8?
Great question.
I think we are. Yeah, and if you guys are wondering, Punisher 305 Miami Geeks will be joining us later. But thank you all for joining us for episode 4. Sorry, episode 8. I don't know why I said episode 4. But yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit out of it today. Josie's back. We got Nick and our special guest right down here. OhNoItsAlexx. Introduce yourself, Alex.
I'm not special at all. Do not ever say that about me ever again.
You are very special.
Not even close. What's up, everybody? Happy to be here.
Is there a story behind your name? Oh no, it's Alex.
Yes. So it used to be. So on Xbox Live, it used to be Bukkake Party.
I don't think that would pass.
And
so I got banned.
Okay.
And so I was playing. I used to play WoW a lot, so I was playing like vanilla a lot of the time, and we were being Ventrilo. I don't know if you guys remember that, and if you, I'm old.
I remember that.
Wow.
Ventrilo was the thing, and so I would jump in Ventrilo, and everybody'd be like, "Oh no, it's," because we never did like character names, we just did first names because it was just easier that way. And they would say, "Oh no, it's Alex." So then that came through, and then I just did that.
Nice.
I didn't, I tried to do it the first time, and then somebody already had "It's Alex," so I couldn't just, and they had the 1X taken, so it was just YouTube was like, "Put 2 there," and I was like, "All right, fine, let's do that."
Nice.
So that is the background story.
Okay, so sorry about that, but apparently audio wasn't working there for a second, but then I'm being told it is. Okay. Somebody was saying they were getting no audio, but I guess it was just them. Alrighty. So thank you for joining us, Alex. I appreciate that. I'm sorry I sound all tinny to you, but yes, yeah, I did what you recommended. This guy is the guy who's told me how to fix everything, and yet I still suck at it. Yeah. So, hey, it does sound better than our first podcast. I've gotten a lot of stuff fixed, but once I'm just going to buy a new computer. I'm just going to just buy a whole
You
new
don't
computer.
need a new computer. Like, why do you...
No, I do have a shitty laptop.
Okay, get an actual desktop.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm doing. I'm buying a truck first. Sorry, excuse me.
Big boy truck.
For what?
Because I need it. My current car sucks.
You're going to like buy some ridiculous truck that costs way too much money that you don't have to buy. And you're going to be like, "Look at my truck, bro."
He's a Florida man. He has to get a big truck.
I know. Yeah.
He knows me.
It's ridiculous.
He knows me because I did that before with my Camaro. He knows me. Yeah, he's not wrong.
It's the same dumb behavior.
You're right.
We're men. We're supposed to do dumb things. Don't you understand this?
I don't
This is
know
in our
if
bloodline.
you guys know. I've known Tom for quite a long time personally.
Yeah.
So I'm going to shit on him quite often this entire time. So don't
completely
feel weird or
okay with
awkward if you're like, "Why is this guy shitting on our friend?"
Yeah. No, I told
to feel
Josie.
weird.
She came in early and we were talking. I was telling her about you. Yes, I've known Alex since, what are we at, 12, 13 years, something like that? I want to say 2011, 2010, something like that. So yeah, it's been a while. And we originally had that podcast. What was the first one called?
I don't even remember, bro. I was so out of my mind during that time phase.
Oh, this is gonna bother me. And then
dude,
it
doesn't even matter.
Oh, the Completionist or something like that, and then somebody else.
No, that's Gerard's channel. For like, what are you talking about?
Remember, we had to change the name because we were like, "Oh, right, somebody else has it." And then eventually we went to Paper Voxels.
There you go.
I remember that one, and then we were big in Russia. I remember our podcast were getting 3,000 views or listens or whatever you want to call it.
That'd be amazing.
Russia.
I would love that. In Russia?
In Russia.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. The internet's a weird fucking place, man.
Yeah.
Well, you never know who's watching, right? Jay said you just never know who's watching, and Russia.
I mean, I had a guy in my comment section today call me No Nuts Alex, and like instead of getting mad, I just laughed the entire time. And I was like, that's kind of funny. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, People are fucking weird.
Yeah, especially to girls on the internet. It's crazy.
Poor thing. I really
you guys got
for
it
you.
bad.
Yeah, you have it the worst. Men get death threats. You get like...
Yeah, I've gotten plenty of those.
Yeah. Women just get like verbally assaulted. It's disgusting, dude. You have to have like 5 mods.
But you
just
gotta,
to
you gotta
everything.
get good at cooking is what you gotta do. You gotta like, really get them into shit that you gotta like spin that shit around. Like you gotta turn that shit into something and be like, yeah, well, I fucked your dad yesterday. Like shit like that'll cut him to the core, you know, like damn, dude. Like that's what you got to do.
It's really crazy.
You can't you can't let him win.
Well, Josie, I think you do a fine job on it. If you have a good comeback, I would use one. Otherwise, you just ignore it.
I usually just say thank you for the algorithm support, and then they stop.
Yeah. Oh, that's
pretty
so
much
funny.
it.
That's a good one though.
Yeah, I will say some of your lately your streams lately have been a little rough in the.
That's why I switched to Twitch, because people are chill over there for the most part.
Yeah,
Wait, so what happened during your streams?
I don't know. People are just like, when's the next hot tub stream? Can you do a lingerie haul?
Here or on
What?
Twitch?
On YouTube. But it's just stuff like that continuously. And I'm like, you guys.
I would expect that more on Twitch.
That's what I
too.
thought. But
Same.
it's like, it's not as many people on Twitch. So it's like the people who like the YouTube vibe, then they'll go over to Twitch. It's not people who like just subscribed because of whatever reason. And then it's
Right.
a thing. Yeah. Some
I
guy was
gotcha,
like,
I
you should do a Zelda cosplay. But like, he was crazy. I can't even repeat that. It was
pull it
You
crazy.
know what they're gonna do with that afterwards, so just move.
Of course, I'm
move along.
not a cosplayer. It's weird to me.
Have you
I
ever
would not
tried
do that.
cosplaying though? I've gone full throttle sometimes. No pun intended. Oops. At Chicago
anybody
Comic
know
Con
this?
here.
They do.
Serious?
Yeah.
Did they finally? I know Kick added one. Directly
Really?
on the page. Kick is like hot tub streams or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what Twitch
But as
is.
far as
There's a
Twitch doing it
category
now,
for you, Twitch,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
there's
their
a category for
moneymaker.
Twitch. Yeah.
To be honest, I was on Twitch. Shoot, what was that? 2013, 2014 for a little bit, and I went, yeah, I'm good.
You should do a hot tub stream, Logan. I'm sure that would get tons of views.
Yes, with the hairy chest.
Yeah.
I literally have an overlay that looks. I made a
Alex,
overlay
look,
that has a
Alex
hot
just
tub
made a
on
face.
it. Has like
I mean,
melted whipped cream on it.
I'm
like a
not
rubber
going to
ducky
talk
in it.
shit because I literally take off my shirt for money on my stream, so I'm
I-
not really going
I
to
know
say
you do
anything.
that. That's why I said that.
Somebody was like, take off your shirt, and I was like, $50, and then like a 50 came in, and I was like, I guess I'm a whore now, and it's like that's really all it was.
If I'm not mistaken, Camelot 331 did the same thing. Like
Yeah,
that's how I think the naked snake thing came about.
Yeah.
And now he makes it a thing. At the end of every night, if he hits a certain amount of money, he does naked snake, and he just and dresses up like Solid Snake.
So he could show areola on YouTube.
Yeah.
Male areola. That's okay.
Yeah.
Hmm?
It's not Twitch. You can't. Twitch. You can't.
So wait, what? Mm-hmm. So you can do it on here, but not on Twitch?
I'll get banned on Twitch. Yeah.
Okay, sure, whatever. Yeah, I haven't been on Twitch in a while. I know people who have been on Twitch. We had Jackzilla on, who's apparently pretty big on Twitch. Do you know who he is, Alex?
No. My Twitch viewing is very limited. Like it's mostly like OTK stuff and stuff like that. I don't really watch a lot of like other streamers.
He streams late though. He streams at like 11 o'clock Midwest time.
Jesus.
So yeah, so by in Florida it's midnight he starts, and he gets a good amount of people coming in and hanging with him.
Why would you need bleach? I'm already pale as it is. Look at this.
My
I have to
gosh.
point my.
It's not
my
for
light
you.
away.
It's for their eyes.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys are mean. Oh, wait,
I
Alex,
did.
never mind.
I will say I took my shirt off live on stream one time. I can't remember. You heard me mention this before. This girl used to do. She probably still does it, like speed dating, and I got picked into the queue right away. One night I waited a couple hours,
nice.
not knowing that when I was in the Discord I had to have my camera on. So I waited all night. I was so disappointed. But then I went back on again. This time I had like my background going, and one of the mods pulled me right away. I was the first guest, and they did their like little pre-interview thing. Long story short, I ended up under pressure taking my shirt off for like a minute, and then putting it back on. And I'm not. It's not my proudest moment.
No, be
honestly,
proud of it.
Well, she gave me lots of compliments, so that was nice.
There you
But
go.
honestly, so that's when I really learned when you do stuff like that and you're a guest for like 5 minutes on like a dating thing or like something that's really quick, you got to be real freaking fast, real fast. Because I elaborated on a story way too long, and I'm like, otherwise they would have probably have voted me back on. I wish I remember something cat. I don't know. I'll dig it up. I'll send it to you guys. You can
You have
watch
to.
it.
I don't know if you guys noticed the title card for this. That's one of the images I pulled. I was able to find the one of you naked licking the Steam Deck. I remember when you did that, and I was
somebody
like,
said somebody was like, "Oh, you're a Valve fanboy," and I was like, "If I'm a Valve fanboy, would I do this?" And then I just grabbed my Steam Deck, and then I moved like the R trigger seductively, and I put my tongue between the slots, and I licked it profusely.
Well, you know what? I like my Steam Deck. However,
I literally like I've gotten to the point where I just
face.
don't care. I just like I'm like I just don't like like. If you're going to come at me, I'm going to push a line. Tom knows. I'm going to push a line. You're going to be like, I was not ready for that. And I'm like, you should have been. You should have been.
Yeah.
That's me, though.
Like a million different scenarios and stories went through my head of when we actually used to hang out, when we would go to bars and stuff like that way back in the day. And some of the instances that would occur, and we would just sit there and then just watch him do his thing. Oh, that was... Yeah.
I would get called the bundle of sticks word. I get called all this stuff, and then I'd be like, "Well, I'm gonna bang your brother later. Like I'm coming over. Don't wait up. He's not gonna sleep tonight. Make sure you got your earplugs in. Like shit like that. Like I'd say all kinds of fucked up shit.
Those were the days. And to be honest, again, you guys, since you don't know Alex, and I've watched a number of his streams, just when you interact with the chat, it's just grab some popcorn and go. It's just hilarious.
It took a lot of effort, right? Like I guess you can say I'm like neurodivergent or whatever. But I think like my wife thinks I'm on the spectrum. I totally agree. I absolutely think so.
Yeah, I thought you told us that years ago.
But I use that to my strength, right? I'm not gonna sit here and like, am I ever gonna see these people? No. Am I ever going to interact with them in real life? No. So why not just do, the best that I can to entertain somebody for a couple of hours? And so it's kind of weird. Like, I don't think playing games on stream is, I'm not going to say it's bad. Like Coke Carnage does a phenomenal job of making that kind of like cozy stream kind of a deal. But it's very difficult. I think it's even more difficult to stream a video game and be interactive on a chat at the same time.
Not easy, dude.
That is very difficult. And be good at the game?
That's
shit. That's a whole other ball game.
I agree. When I first started streaming and trying to interact with people and play games like Apex, especially Apex Legends, where it's such a high competitive game. Call of Duty, you kind of get used to it only until you get to like maybe if you're playing Warzone, you get in the last circle, then you kind of just like chill out on the chat and catch up later. But
I guess you thought I was a liar. Sorry.
Well, you are a fucking liar, bro.
Oh, wow. I embellished the truth.
Like you thought we were friends or something. We're never friends.
Yeah,
we're
people who know each other in ways.
I banged your dad.
Good night, everybody. Did you? Oh, so you're my... Oh, well, what? Wait. The thing is, I had to stop there because of something Nick said earlier, because of a comment that was made during the last stream, and I'm like, you know what? Let's behave.
Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can behave a little bit, just a little bit more than.
Josie's like, what the fuck am I in here for? Dude. Jesus Christ! I could have been relaxing tonight.
She's been part of the cast since episode 2. For the last 3, her work has pulled her away, and I got to the point where I just thought they didn't want her to be a part of the cast. So.
Yep.
But now that you're here, Alex, we have some entertainment.
No, I'm not
so, Alex,
clown.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Alex, you primarily stream on YouTube or Twitch?
Yeah, only YouTube.
Only YouTube. Okay, I got you. And you said you had streamed on Twitch before, but you switched platforms?
I tried it. So I'm not gonna get like political or anything like that. I just didn't like the moves that Twitch was making specifically. I think that
I'm aware of
a lot
probably most of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that a lot of what Twitch is doing, I feel like what they're going to do now is actually remove Prime pretty soon. I have that feeling that Prime is going to go. Yeah.
Why do you think? Why do you think that?
Because they're more focused on revenue generation, and Prime is literally just is a loss leader for them.
Oh, I had no clue.
Yeah,
it's been like a rumor that they're going to take it away for a while now.
Yeah. So
Josie,
Prime is
how long
just
have you been back on there now? Did you say?
Like literally today. I just
Oh,
did it today.
So this was your first stream today?
Like
on Twitch?
sort of. I've been trying for I've been moving back and forth between YouTube and Twitch for a couple months, but it's been primarily YouTube, and then it got kind of crazy, so now I'm back on Twitch.
I recommend Restream. If you do Restream for free,
Yes.
it will allow you to do it on 2 platforms. That's Twitch and YouTube. If you pay, like I do, I could stream on 5. I'm streaming on 4 right now. So it all really depends on if you want to.
Is really good.
Yeah, it's good. He broadens your horizon on things, you know.
So I've heard this too, that Amazon owns Twitch, right?
Yeah.
But I understand.
They are looking at selling it.
I'm not sure if they're going to sell it or not. I think they're just looking to try and make as much revenue as they can off of it because it's been bleeding for quite a while.
Really?
It's probably just going to collapse on itself within the next couple of years.
Is
a
that
lot
why
of people are
Kick
sick of Twitch.
has really, gone up? Because I've noticed a lot of people talking about Kick lately.
It's mostly
Kick-
that YouTube is better.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then
Sorry,
people are moving over, I think.
What were you
I
saying,
think
Alex?
too with Kick, people are talking about it because it's a controversial platform.
Mhm.
Because controversial things are happening on that platform. I don't know if it's apparently they use the same backend as Twitch does, which is kind of hilarious when you think about it.
Uh-huh.
But I think also as well, it's just very controversial. Like one guy got a blowjob in the middle of the stream.
Yeah, I heard about that guy.
other-
He's an
other
absolute
stuff.
dirtbag. That guy, I don't even know.
People watch straight up porn on there. It's very
On Kick?
yeah.
Oh,
They're probably doing it on purpose because whatever they're doing,
There's no real I mean, there is TOS, but there's no the enforcement is very limited from what I've seen. And people like Aiden Ross are on there. I think other big streamers like Bruce or Kai might go or something like that. It's more controversial than it is an actually good platform. But streaming in more places is always better. Honestly, I would even avoid YouTube altogether now. I would do TikToks and then funnel TikTok viewers to your Twitch.
It's hard, dude. I have a pretty decent fan base on TikTok, and
yeah.
But here's the thing that I'm experiencing, and I've said this multiple times. Exposure on TikTok during live streams is phenomenal.
Yes.
I'll get 1 to 3 to 5 followers each time I stream in the mornings. And that's more 8 a.m. in the morning on TikTok. Funneling them to YouTube and Twitch is a whole other beast, though, unfortunately. And I think one of the biggest downfalls for Twitch is exposure. You can't be found. You go on TikTok, you can be found. And
yes,
from my experience with my YouTube shorts and stuff like that, and depending on the game I'm playing while I'm streaming on YouTube, I'm getting more followers on there too. I am just stagnant on Twitch. So that's why it's always good. That's why that's why I recommend
until you funnel something else. Twitch is not it does not have an algorithm. It does not have the basis for growth anymore, more like that it used to. It's very top heavy. And I think if you're going to do that, unless you want to if you're just going to sit there and be I'm just going to stream and chill, I don't give a fuck, then do it. And that's better. If you're trying to be I want this to be a massive thing, or I want it to be the next, whoever, then that's a whole other ball. That's a whole other plan you have to attack.
So apparently in the chat, they're both they seem to be talking about Kick and Rumble. Rumble is a YouTube alternative, but right now it seems to be mainly political content. And there's some gaming stuff and some car stuff, but it gets very few views compared to the political stuff. And to be honest, if you're a gaming channel, it's really hard to make it over there. And Kick is
Rumble's
exactly what they're
cringe.
talking about.
Oh, fuck.
It's I tried to put up some gaming content over there where one video did 3,000 views in a couple days here. And I was all right, let's try that as my first video over there. In 2 weeks, it got 20 views.
Yeah.
I'm and I did the same thing, all the other keywords. No one goes over there to watch anything that isn't political. So I'm don't really, if you're a gamer, if you're into sports, if you're into, I don't know, cars, whatever, it really isn't the place to be right now. I'm hey, maybe in the future, but I don't see it being as a place if you're into gaming at all.
Rumble
I heard live
for,
streams are pretty good, but
Rumble is for your drunk uncle who likes to say really inappropriate things on Thanksgiving during the dinner table. Like that's what Rumble is for.
Well, that too, you know, it's considered an alt tech platform, but if you look at like what's happening with like the Overton window and people who are leaning towards the right side and to be conservative, and then further in, it seems to be a platform that a lot of people like that go towards, and so then it becomes like super controversial instead of being like neutral.
The Overton window.
The Overton window is
bro. Do you think I'm a fucking himbo, bro? What the fuck do you like? Do you think I give a fuck about like some shit?
Imagine a picture frame, an outline of a picture frame, right? And then depending on your certain beliefs, you can land center, you can land right, you can land left.
Oh, it's like
or you go further to the left or further to the right. It's just it's
cringe.
It's used for political ideology.
Okay, so it's cringe.
Yeah, I'm not really big into politics. It's frustrating to see and watch and hear from both sides every day on the news, just constantly going at it like two dogs barking at each other through a fence, and it's just unpalatable. But
I don't watch any news. I think news is fucking
I don't even know what I'm looking at here. I see a bunch of images. I'm not even going to bother. They're all so different, and I'm like, you know what? They're all things with arrows pointing in different directions.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we don't talk about politics here. We talk about video games. And
that's a good segue. You know what?
I like it.
Give it up for Logan, everybody. He fucking did it. He made a good segue. Hey.
Love that segue.
You know what I love about video games, especially when Alex covers it? Fanboys.
Oh man, we're gonna go into that now.
Oh wait, how can we have a video or a stream or anything with you without talking about fanboys?
Okay.
That is like your bread and butter. That I think is
actually,
when you started.
It's
really?
Actually not. Yeah.
That is the content that I love to watch on yours.
My biggest content is actually like my Stream Deck and emulation content.
Really?
Yeah, my Steam Deck content gets like 6-figure views.
Oh.
Like
it's
every
fucking
time,
stupid. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan. Well, you know me and PC. I'm just not that guy. But when you do the fanboy stuff, I'm like, especially now my eyes have been open to Microsoft. You remember how I was a Microsoft fanboy with Xbox? Freaking, I wouldn't say I hate them, but I don't like them.
I mean, you were called out as a Nintendo fanboy from Griffin Gaming for a little bit for not liking Elden Ring. I got to call you out on that.
That's fine. You know what? Call me a Nintendo fanboy because I can be like RGT.
I mean, you had
not
the
a
worst
Nintendo
fucking
YouTuber.
take from Elden Ring I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I didn't care. I'm at the point where I'm like, hey, if you don't like it, you know what? I say this, and I've learned this in the last year. If you ain't pissing somebody off, you ain't doing something right.
Or maybe your take is so bad that you're pissing everybody off and you're doing something wrong.
I like
I got Josie to smile. That's been the whole goal the whole night. Booyah.
Yeah, to be honest, I was like, all right, you guys don't like me because I don't like a game that I think is shit.
You should see the Oh man. All I said, and I don't think Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is a bad game. Okay? I said is a comment on some meme I said, I'm so glad I have no interest in playing Breath of the Wild 2. Oh boy, did the fanboys attack me. I didn't say it was a bad game. I didn't say
Nick sends me all these screenshots. I'm like, ooh.
Oof, yeah. Dude, they really got into it.
Yeah.
And dude, there were some smart people there that they're like, my guy's just trying to he's just creating he's just talking, he's just trying to create discourse for attention. He's like, I'm like, ding ding, the only smart guy here.
Yeah, but funny. You know what? Sometimes that's kind of what we do, because I noticed, I was like, all right, there are these games that are popular, and I don't like them. I'm going to continue to say I don't like popular games. Why? Because it gets people talking. It gets eyes on your channel.
Yeah, you know what? What do they call it? Hate bait? Honestly, I might have to do it a little more. Because everything else I'm doing is not working, to be honest. It's a very slow climb.
You gotta be really to do hate bait. It has to be either you either got to do it as a meme and you can't break it, and it has to be like a character, or you are just gonna be called what is it when you're just when you're
clout
just fucking
chaser.
Yeah, it's gonna be like
Grifter.
chasing clout or grifting or
Grifter.
just trying to say things that you're angry about, but actually you're not angry about, like shit like that.
Yeah, grifter.
Like that's more. Okay, the word grifter, nobody fucking knows what that means. If you're
I
not
do.
selling anything, you're not grifting anything.
Snake oil salesman. Think of a snake oil salesman as a grifter.
You can't
Sell
grift
Right.
you can't grift views because you can click on the views. You can choose
Right. Apparently, that is the slang or the term used for anybody that's just jumping on the bandwagon, whether they're
Yeah.
selling something or not. It's like the catchphrase now. It's the catch-all word that everybody uses. I'm like, I don't think that means what you think it means.
It doesn't.
So, yeah, but it is what it is. It's internet culture, I guess you could call it, or YouTube culture, whatever this nonsense that we all take part in these days.
I mean, there are actual grifters, which is probably where it's like a line from.
Probably, most likely. But my thing is, when we're talking about grifting, let's go back to you, Alex. That
King
Legend
Grift.
of Zelda. Yeah. I don't know how many times where I've actually seen your videos, and I went and I was like, let me see what people are saying. They'll call you a grifter. I've seen it. I've seen videos where people talk crap about you, calling you a grifter.
I've been called a lot worse.
Oh, I know you have, but I'm just going with the grifter term, just because we're trying to keep it PG-13 here.
It's just fun.
But what has been your biggest take, mixing the thing with what Nick said and what you said? And I know Josie and I like Breath of the Wild too. Whoa, look what you got me saying. Tears of the Kingdom.
Uh-oh.
His fanboy video the other day on Zelda was kind of funny.
This guy's?
Yeah, I told you, I told Nick to check him out. He's like, yeah, I'm going to check him out. He didn't check you out.
Dude, my brain has been just so scattered. I will check you out, dude.
What was the
Well,
video about so that people can understand?
I mean, there's so many.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
There was
I'll put
one
it
of
in the-
like people getting mad of like the reviews. There was another one of like people.
This one.
I think it was. Hold on, I've got.
I think it's the one that I stole the
Do you like the game?
title card from.
I haven't played it yet. I did like Breath of the Wild 1, but I've been very consumed with a little game called Path of Exile recently.
FX was phenomenal, dude.
I put about 80 hours into about 2 weeks into that game. Basically just getting ready for Diablo. So
Okay.
I feel like I'm gonna hate Diablo.
Did you play the beta? I didn't see if you
Yeah.
played it.
Yeah.
Do you know how I got into the beta?
You bought
I
it.
ate that. Nope. Well, I
You
ate
bought a
that
double.
sandwich.
You ate a fucking double down.
I have a video of me eating a double down. People actually watched it and said, "Why are you eating a double down?" I'm like,
Because it's
it was actually pretty good. Gave me
people
the
will-
gave me the poops. We'll just say that. I was going to say something else, but oh, good God! Like for 2 days, but it was good. I turned it into like 3 sandwiches. Yeah. But
That's like food poisoning.
what do you mean? I'm lactose intolerant. It had like 3 layers of cheese.
That
How
is
did
a poor decision.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like literally walking into quicksand. Well,
Yes.
you can't really see quicksand.
Yeah, and I did it because I saw what's his name from Game Ranks do it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna copy him. I'm gonna do the same thing. And it worked for all about 10 minutes. People were laughing, and I went, all right, there we go. I should have done it on live stream, but I didn't. But yeah, have you had one of those by any chance, Alex?
No,
Why not?
because no.
Okay, can someone explain to me what this food is?
A double
A
down?
double down. It's instead of have like a ham and cheese sandwich. Instead of bread, it's 2 pieces of fried chicken.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. That's KFC, right?
Yeah.
And it has like 2 pieces of cheese. It has like cheese and cheese sauce in between. And then literally it's the fried chicken was really good though. But
You
I
thought that
turned-
wasn't going to make you sick.
Oh no, I knew it was.
Man
I-
takes risks. This is what men do. We take major
Yeah.
risks.
and you know what? My wife said, do it, and I did it.
Why would you?
Hey, if my wife says do it, I do it. It's how life works. I am
was
not
gonna-
a stupid man.
I mean, if you saw my face, you ate a fucking double down.
I didn't eat
Are
the
you
whole
sure
thing.
you're not the dumb one around here?
I got through 2/3 of it, and then I went. I can't. My stomach was doing this gurgle, and I just ended up throwing the rest away because I was like, "There's no way I'm eating this thing tomorrow."
Yeah.
Speaking
Wait,
of,
did someone just? Yeah. What? What?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't
It's
even
a
know what
fast
Bojangles
food
is.
place.
Does
right?
it still even exist here?
I don't know.
I remember that was big when we were kids, but I don't even know if it exists here. But here, I eat Chick-fil-A all the time. I had Chick-fil-A for lunch today.
Popeyes is
So-
better.
I love Chick. What?
Listen, we had this conversation before. Popeyes is better, particularly their chicken sandwich. I'm just saying, dude.
Okay. Okay. What was that noise?
My arm, the arm thingy.
Oh, and it
wow.
sounds like someone's consistently typing. Does someone have a secretary behind them?
That's me.
No,
might be
I'm
me.
also playing Path of Exile as we're in the comment right now.
Oh, wow.
It's gonna be him. My threshold's actually pretty good.
The truth comes out.
But
I'm just
but
saying.
speaking of noise, how about that Mortal Kombat trailer, huh?
Hey,
Making some noise around the internet.
Mortal Kombat
That
1.
wasn't a bad segue. I think that was a pretty good one.
I tried, dude. I tried.
That trailer. You know what? I set up this this podcast and what we were going to talk about before that trailer dropped, and then I even put a short from last week's podcast about what I thought it was going to be at the same time they put up the trailer. No, I actually didn't.
No, you said that Liu Kang was the dude of time now, and that it was
Right.
going to be, if anything, on an alternate timeline. Did you not say that on the podcast?
I didn't say alternate. I said it was going to go back to the original timeline with the original Kung Lao.
Pretty.
And
Oh,
then
with
go
the
that
original
way.
Kung Lao.
Yeah, this one they just kind of reset everything, and they
It
just
looks-
went, "All right, do you
it
want to be a
looks-
good guy or bad guy?" That's
It-
kind of how they
it's. I say it looks, even though we didn't see like actual gameplay. Listen, they're using the Unreal Engine. It's going to look just as good as the trailer.
Yeah.
But you can see the art direction that they went with it. Kung Lao looks like a freaking beast. And Scorpion and Sub-Zero, their designs look awesome. Katana's is very classic. She's looking awesome. Like
I like how they simplified them instead of being over the top.
but I like where I like the direction that they took, like what the Nether Realm is, and
Mhm.
it seems in the right direction. Now I do have a prediction. Okay, so before I get too sidetracked, what I really am hyped for is that they're redesigning the gameplay, the fight mechanics. I really hope they get rid of the block button. Never been a fan of it, really. But I know that it's been the core gameplay of Mortal Kombat. The block button has
That's
been.
what really separates it. Well,
Yeah.
one thing to go back, Josie, you did watch it, right? You said
I
you
did.
were going to watch it. Okay. Did you play Mortal Kombat any of the last few?
Yeah,
9, 10, or 11?
I played 10, I think it was 10 on the PlayStation 4 with my brother, and then I've played a
Okay.
little bit of 11, the Switch port, which is kind of bad, but I
See,
don't know.
RGT85 thinks it's epic. I'm like, all right, it's pretty good, but
it's fine. I'm not a Mortal Kombat person necessarily, but I really like Injustice, so I kind of like Mortal Kombat. I'd rather play Injustice, but I think the trailer was pretty cool because it's like I like the idea that they're going back to the roots. I think that's good because there's a whole generation of people like me who didn't grow up with the original ones, and this will make it more accessible. It's not like, oh, you're jumping into a series at the 11th game, even though the story doesn't really matter, but it'll feel like that reboot for us.
Did you beat 11?
No.
Oh, okay. Because this actually is a sequel to 11.
It's
takes
a
place-
sequel.
Yes. It's funny because if you don't beat it, you just think it's a reboot. It's not. 9 was the reboot. Technically, every Mortal Kombat's been a sequel, but they made the sequel technically reboot it. So
Why the hell would they
timeline still
name
goes
it Mortal Kombat 1?
because it's technically it's a sequel, but it's a reboot. Liu Kang rebooted the timeline, but he's still the same Liu Kang because he became the fire god in at the end of 11.
So this is like the multiverse of. I got you.
I think so. It sounds
Yes.
like it. It sounds like they're going the Metal Gear Solid timeline with this, but I'm okay. I'm okay with the direction that they're doing. Also, from the trailer, it looks like their game mode, story mode might have like decision making, like building like friends and foes. It's like they kind of make it pretty obvious. I posted a video earlier.
Well,
today, shameless plug at click to enlarge, YouTube at click to enlarge. Shameless plug. So, yeah, go ahead, Logan.
No, I was going to say, after you posted that, I saw some more stuff come up on Instagram about the different features in the game that weren't in the trailer. They started posting all kinds of stuff throughout the day.
Nice.
And then there's a new mode where it's like ally mode, where you can have a partner going with you through the game, and it affects the story depending on, say you're Scorpion, you can have Sub-Zero as your buddy, as your actual friend, or an enemy. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but that's what they were calling it.
Also, the trailer kind of squishes the rumor that Johnny Cage was going to be the main character. How could Johnny Cage be the main?
Liu Kang. If you beat 11, it's Liu Kang.
Okay.
Alex, you never played it, did you?
No.
Yeah, I was I don't ever remember.
I'm ready
you
for
playing
Street Fighter 5 is what I'm ready for, because
5?
I want to see.
Well, we're on 6.
Or 6. I'm sorry, because I
6
want to
looks
play
great.
as Jury, and I want Cammy to snap my neck with her fucking thighs.
Dude, I'm a Cammy main, dude, in
All right.
in like Street Fighter 4 and in any other
I want
ones.
to get fucking demolished by a muscle mommy. That's what I want, for Christ's sake.
Cammy's phenomenal. She's usually a high tier character. She's a rushdown.
Told you, Josie.
If you know how to play as
Told her
her,
what?
she is lethal.
Nothing at all.
He
Josie's
said,
like,
Alex
fuck.
is kind of raunchy, so get ready. And I said,
Oh, okay.
can do.
Did I say? Wait,
Josie, do you have older brothers?
well, he's kind of a
Okay,
Okay,
abrasive.
this is why she could put up with this, because she's got older brothers. This is why her older brothers hardened her shell a bit here, so she can take it. That's what older brothers. Okay, yep.
Y'all
okay.
y'all need to.
Y'all need to. I'm waiting.
Well, anyways, my prediction.
Wow,
with MK, let him think on that one.
I'm trying to be nice to Josie.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, if Gabe was
Nothing,
here, I
Josie.
was really hoping Gabe would be
Nothing.
here, because him and Alex would go back, and I'd just sit here. I'd grab some popcorn. No, I wouldn't have popcorn, but I'd have something, and I would just sit here, drink a beer, and then just watch them go. That would be hilarious. These two would be great in the same room. Yeah, but unfortunately, yeah, I don't even know. Now you probably
Unfortunately, we banished Gabe from the podcast. He's never returning.
So
And
okay,
you know
this
what?
sounds
Gabe's
like there's
probably
drama
watching.
with Gabe. What's up? Tell me
no,
about that.
no, there's no drama.
There's so much drama. I can't stand him. Just kidding.
Ooh,
He's a
Whoa.
chiller.
here
I
it
knew
comes.
it.
The truth comes out. Wait till Gabe watches
knew
this.
it.
So
Let
so
the
what
beef
did you-
begin.
What did you do to Gabe? What did you do to him?
Me? The question is, what didn't I do?
Oh,
shit.
really?
Just kidding.
Wow. So you guys. were
Okay, what are we
on the
talking
side?
about gaming wise? What's
No,
going on with
I
the
just-
games,
I did
everyone?
I did want to
Ninja
say
games.
this iteration of Mortal Kombat, I do feel like is going to turn into Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 revision, like reboot. They're going to start bringing in levels from the second game and the third game. They're going to slowly start bringing in new characters, classic outfits, stuff, DLC. It's going to be a plethora of just nostalgia and new things too.
So it's
That's
just gonna be
what I'm
Mortal Kombat 11 again. Mortal Kombat 11 had so much freaking DLC. It was stupid.
Well, I'm just saying, going back, like they're going to they're going to redo like the forest from Ultimate MK. I'm saying level wise, they're going to redo. Gosh, they did a lot. I don't know how much of the levels they reintroduced into the last MK. I know they did quite a bit.
MK9, which was the technical reboot of the timeline after Armageddon, that had a lot of those levels.
Did we ever get a remake of the classic pit level from MK1 with like the developers' heads and stuff on spikes and things
No.
like that? Did we ever get that?
No.
I'm anticipating
so.
that in this version for sure. Because you got to understand, my when I first was introduced to Mortal Kombat, I was at an arcade with my dad. I was a little kid. I had been. The game came out in what, 92?
In the arcades. 93
so-
on console.
93 on console. Okay, I was like 8 years old, and I'm hearing this whack, 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 ding, 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 and like all these noises. I'm like, what is this? Now this is back in the day, where if you wanted to get in line and play an arcade, you had to put a quarter up in the corner of the screen. Remember those days, Logan?
Mhm.
No? Anybody?
I-
Yes.
I do.
Josie has no
Josie,
idea,
of
but thank you
course.
so much for your participation. I really do
job.
appreciate it.
I don't even think Josie was alive when arcades were still a thing.
The game
Yo,
blew
yes,
my
I
mind.
was. We had them in my hometown, and they were kind of chill for a second, and then they went out of business, and then our
And then you
bowling
would
alley
be like,
shut
"What?
down.
Why is that weird dude in the back hanging out all by himself?"
Yeah, and then we
And
were
then why
like,
is that kid going to that
Ponytail.
weird old dude? Wait a minute, what's going on here,
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that's Fun and Games over in the Pembroke Lake Mall. Remember that place?
bro? That was like sexual assault territory 101.
When it first opened up, my mom would let me just go in there and play video games, and then
Your mom
after a
was
while,
horrible. Your mom didn't
I'm-
care about you.
probably no. After a while, she was like, "No, I don't want you to be in here by yourself."
Yeah, because she just let you in that place alone.
No, when it first opened up, I think it was 92, 93. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But around 96 to 98, yeah, it was not the best arcade.
"Is this place in Florida?"
Yeah.
Was.
Well, there it is. That's why. I don't even walk down the street here. I feel like I'm gonna get napped.
Okay, where
Yo.
you are, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing over there. Oh,
Yo,
Absolutely.
don't be
Over there.
doxing her, bro. What the fuck?
No, people know. They don't know that I know, and no, she's never said where she actually lives around here. You've never said. I haven't heard you say where you said where you.
Why would I say what I say? I
No,
carry a
her.
gun everywhere I go.
No,
Not
me.
you,
I
know
don't.
you.
Smart.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think you've ever told anybody where you live around here.
Of course
No.
not. I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I live in Overtown. Come find me.
Yes, you do.
I say Chicago, so come on over here. Because it won't be me who gets you. It'll be somebody else.
The Florida man is a joke. I really live in Detroit.
Oh gosh, that's a whole other story right
The only-
there.
See, yeah, Florida man is not a lie. I
No,
can
it's
tell you-
not.
I can tell you from experience. I've watched videos and I'm like, shit, I've done some of those things.
Yo, there's a great Twitter account called Only in Dade.
Oh, I need to
Eight
look
count?
that
Is
up.
that like a county?
Yeah.
where Miami is?
There was a guy. So there's a guy. There's like a town, not a town, but like a district, I guess you can call it, or like it's not like a city. It's like a sub part of Miami, because Miami's like really big. So it's like a sub area of Miami. It's called Brickell, and this dude
Yeah.
goes to this really expensive gym. It's like with the EU something. Equinox. There it is. So he goes to this Equinox gym. He's in the middle of the gym. He takes off all his clothes and he starts fighting people naked in the gym.
I'd throw a 5-pound weight at his face. He'll go out real quick.
Yo, the dude got tased twice by cops and he just pulled the tasers out of his chest.
Oh, he was on.
You,
he was on a
you
substance. then.
You're not doing nothing. All right.
That's it. That
I'd
sounds
be
like
running.
Miami. Yeah.
5-pound weight is doing nothing.
Is that off of US 1? Is that
It's
is
like
that
near
where it
there.
used
It's
to
like
be right
near
off,
there, yeah.
like right when you're leaving downtown and you're going into yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Oh wow. Okay, I know where that is. My office wasn't too far from there. Well, I don't have that.
Again,
office
you're
anymore,
doxing.
of course.
Like,
No,
you're
I don't
so
live down
fucked.
there anymore. You think I'm crazy? I don't live down.
Okay,
you know I
bro,
moved.
do you know that people on the internet, all right, they found the "He Will Not Divide Us" flag that was literally sitting in the air with nothing next to it besides the sky.
They figured out the
and then
flight
fucking
patterns.
Spurgs, no,
Insane.
the Spurgs took the fucking constellations of the stars and they figured out where the flag was by where the stars lined up on the camera at night. And then another Spurg drove out with his truck to confirm it and he would honk the horn. So you're giving like all this information and you're like, oh yeah, I know exactly where that is. It used to be where I used to work. And everybody's like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
There's literally a guy on
Oh,
TikTok where people will
Jay.
send out like a 5-second clip and they'll be like, find out where this person's at. And then what he'll do is just from a little bit, just as soon as he finds just a little bit of information to use, he does all these searches and everything, and he finds these people. He shows you how he did it. And a lot of it is common sense, to be honest. But
Yeah, bro.
people are out there. Remember, it's the internet. People do not have lives. Some do, some don't. You never know
what?
who's watching.
I think
You gotta
that's
be careful.
part of my problem because I actually have a life, so I don't think that people think that way. And then I realize I turn on the internet and people are just plain
Ridiculous.
Well, I mean, look at TikTok.
There we go.
TikTok has turned into a freak show.
The word I was going to say.
People are popular because they look weird, they act weird. Some, no disrespect, have a lot, no disrespect, have disabilities, and they're seeing this fame on TikTok because people see it as like some sort of show. We'll just say show.
But did you know TikTok over in its country of origin shows none of that?
I know,
but over here it shows the worst thing in the world.
Listen, dude, 3 years ago, it was real bad. I was like, trash. Like, it kept throwing me stuff where if I was like, no, if like this is borderline, I don't know how old this person is, this is borderline this content, I'm like, trash.
Do all you guys use TikTok?
I do.
Bro, I'm old.
So, dude, I'm 38.
So am I. Dude, you're like 2 years older than me.
That's already too old, man.
The main demographic is 20 and younger for TikTok. But I still use it because I was able to leverage the platform.
Yeah, but
otherwise I wouldn't be on it.
I think you are the youngest one here besides Josie, and she doesn't count because she's very young.
Wow. I just turned 20. It was a good time.
Sounds like the worst thing to say to like that. She's very young. Like that is like.
She is. She just said it. She's 20. We're all dang near. We're all 40 except for Nick.
Oh,
Nick's close to 40.
I'm good. Well, I'll be there eventually. I was proud of myself though today, Josie. I got a 22 splat.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I was like, yay. And it was sad because I was like, yay.
Oh,
nobody's going to know except Josie. Maybe I should tag her in this post. I don't know. I was excited and then sad for myself afterwards. I'm like,
you should have tagged. Did you tag me?
I didn't post it yet. I'll tag you. But our team dominated. It was, and that was 22 on the splat, on the gun side. I had maybe 5 deaths, 22 kills.
That's crazy.
And then some with my special. I was like, this is the best.
Just normal turf wars.
It was turf wars.
That's pretty crazy.
So yeah, I was excited for myself.
I was playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Okay, please tell. Do pray tell. Is it running good? I'm really curious.
I have about 4 or 5 hours into the game, and I was going to make I guess you could say a review, because I know I'm not that. I think the game's got 15 hours altogether to beat it.
That's
so about a third of the way through. That's actually decent. At first I was like, oh no, there's no glitches. I'm not seeing any. Oh, everything's. Yesterday, I boot up the game, start playing. There's this cutscene where all the textures don't load until halfway through the scene. So there's this frog character. He pops out. He's got no texture, and then it pops up.
He's all like muddy.
Look at another character, and then he's got no texture, and then it pops up. No, it's like really low res, and then it goes high res. Not muddy, but low res.
It's called LOD, level of
res,
detail, my friend.
Yeah, and that it just kept doing that. I'm like, what in the
the texture
world
isn't
is going on
streaming
here?
fast enough is the issue.
It's a texture streaming issue. Okay.
Yeah.
Because everything, it's the weirdest thing. I was looking at this frog, and every time he'd come in and out of the scene, his textures would have to reload, and it was just the weirdest thing. And then, but I think the frame rate and the texture loading is probably the only issues I've seen thus far.
You're on
I haven't had any problem. Series X, yeah, I'm playing it on Series X. Yeah, the update hasn't gone through. It just went through on PS5, but they still don't have one for Series X. I actually had to turn off the motion blur because it was doing that weird, I don't know if you would call it the halo or aura effect.
The ray of light that happens like in VR.
Around the character?
Yeah, it does like yeah. You know, I always shut off motion blur on any of my games.
Good.
It's taxing on my PC, and honestly, I do not like the way it looks, especially with shooters. Forget it. You need everything crystal sharp and everything you shut it off, you'll never miss it.
Yep.
And the game will run better.
Turn it off.
Just turn it off.
They also have I forget what it was called. It was some stupid name for what it does, and they also have a film grain, which I turned all that off because it was taxing. It was making everything run slow. As soon as I turned it all off, it was running.
There's one game that I don't mind the film grain on, and I have to go back and play it. Silent Hill 2. I'll play with the film grain on it. It does something with it. I don't know. Je ne sais quoi. I don't know. But I like the way it looks for Silent Hill. Maybe because it's a horror game with a horror atmosphere and things like that. But otherwise, yeah, those, I don't know. But I'm glad now that at least console lives in a day and age where you guys can shut that stuff off, because PC's had it. We've had it.
Yeah, I know this guy would always give me shit for always playing everything on console. And he's like, when are you going to learn? He's a PC master race dude. And then now I was like, all right, I don't have to see Alex on a daily basis, because every time after work we grab a beer, we grab a burger or something like that, and he's like console plebe. I'm like, damn it, dude.
It's not even that. That's all you would talk about.
Yes, because I wasn't playing on the Wii. It was always 360. Always 360.
I loved my 360.
But I loved my Wii.
Go ahead, Alex.
Alex, did you want to add something?
No, it's good. It's good.
No, go ahead, Alex.
You don't like the Wii?
No, it's nothing.
I like the Wii U. If I had to have a preference between the two, I like the Wii U. I still have mine.
That's actually insane.
Yeah.
I hated that fucking console, man.
Wii U at both of them, Wii and Wii U.
Well, the Wii wasn't that
I
bad.
did not like the nunchucks, man. I hated those.
I hated the Wii.
It was a cool idea.
I mean, the Wii. I like the Wii U.
You know, like the nunchucks were a cool idea, but the Wii U was just so fucking weird, man. Like they had no idea what they were fucking doing with that thing.
Yeah, but the Wii U and the Wii are different. You can't group like hating the Wii and the Wii U together.
They literally named it the same.
Well, that was stupid, but that doesn't mean that the
Wii
is any worse. It has some really good games. Mario Galaxy is probably the best Mario game.
Been replaying it. First one's better than the second one, in my opinion. Been replaying it on the 30th anniversary for Switch.
Mm-hmm.
It's been actually the way you could with the motion controls with the controller. You really get used to it. They did a really good job with it. Galaxy's a fun game. It's not as good as the recent Mario, which I replayed through and beat already. Which is
Odyssey's really good.
Odyssey's phenomenal. Odyssey is a Mario masterpiece in my mind, but I'm sure people have different opinions. But
I like
Galaxy's
Odyssey.
fantastic.
Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild is a better game.
I actually like Odyssey more than Breath of the Wild, which I think is very controversial.
High five.
No.
High five.
No.
High five. Low five. Okay. Good enough.
I feel like you like Odyssey more than Breath of the Wild. I feel like Odyssey is much more like tailored.
Yeah.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
I
It's
don't-
a more tailored experience. Yeah.
I like games that like get to the point, sort of. So, Breath of the Wild was sort of like that, but it's also a lot about like exploring and stuff, which I loved. But Mario Odyssey was like, if you want to get right through it, you can, and you can just zoom. And I like games like that.
Well, me personally, I'm starting to I had started like The Witcher, and that's another game, The Witcher 3 in particular, which is a phenomenal game. But I'm starting to get burnt on these open world games where the whole discovery thing that Josie's talking about, where like you're just kind of on a horse all for a half hour, 40 minutes, and you're just like, okay, I need to move on here. The only game that still has, and I know this is one of Logan's favorite games, that I can go around, and it's not even a horse, it's a goat with horns or something, is Elden Ring. That's the only game I can go around because the world is built so well and you're discovering things constantly. Elden Ring.
You know what's a better open world game with a goat? Goat Simulator. Goat Simulator.
Oh, you want to arm wrestle, bro?
I'm gonna be the black sheep here, and I think Death Stranding is severely underrated in overworld.
You know what? I still
It's
still
one
need
of
to go
like the
back.
best open world games you could possibly fucking play.
You know what I'm really into though?
I have that
spaces. Does like games like Stanley Parable and
Oh
things.
yes.
Like,
This got me into that game.
So good. I'm really into the liminal stuff. There's some liminal games that I do actually want to stream. I do like Five Nights at Freddy's. I consider that game kind of a liminal kind of game because
You know
there's
they're coming
space.
out with a movie for that.
I'm excited since I've been playing Security Breach. I'm excited, but what was the point? So Death Stranding. I hear it takes about 20 hours to really get going. Is that true?
No. You'll get going, and so the problem that people have with that game is that they'll get in the first area and try to do everything in the first area. You can't.
Okay.
And what'll happen is you'll push yourself to a point where you're like, I'm getting so frustrated with this game. Why can't I do the things I want to do because I'm still in the first area? Like, why can't I complete the first area? Mm-hmm. So don't even try to do the first area completely. You need more equipment to come back. But what it does is it gives you so many small it gives you so many small little tools that you feel are like, why would I even have this? And then you start attaching it to other things and you're like, oh, like I can do some really wild shit. Like it's a really it's a cool ass fucking game. I highly suggest taking 15 milligrams of THC before you play it.
15, dude. I'll be on Mars, bro. I'll take 5.
That's exactly what you need, bro. Like that game is the music in that game is a literal it's
on my wish list.
I'm going to show my age.
Best soundtracks I've honestly ever heard in my life.
What is THC?
It's tetrahydrocannabinol, dude. It's it's what's in marijuana that makes you buzzed.
Oh,
yes. And when he when he refers to milligram, that's dosage. So like if you eat edible
Sherlock
gummy with vitamin C and everything.
I know measurements.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not saying that to be insulting.
You'll be good. You'll have a good time. Like that game is fucking.
I'll stick
wild,
with my burr.
My beer. Like I like to like drink my vodkas in game and just get into a heavy.
You could do that too. That's fine, but it is a super chill ass game that also becomes incredibly like
intense involvement. Everything.
It's very intense because you're like, I'm just walking. How is this intense? And then you're like, if I make one false move, I will literally lose all of my shit. My character will die and everything will be for naught. Like it's like that. Like it's one of those things.
You know, a while ago, I 3D printed this awesome little looking diorama of like the backpack in mud, and it has like this nice stand. I printed everything out and has all the little detail and all the like things on the backpacks, the buckles and everything. So maybe after I play the game, I'll be inspired to finally put it together. And like, I love doing that stuff and airbrushing it and putting like the mud texture and everything in there.
That's cool. It's a good fucking game. Like I really like it a lot. The story is actually like, if you play it now, you'll be like, oh, Kojima basically predicted the future. Awesome. Because it's like the way it's what it's about is America has been segmented into its own small cities. And so what you're trying to do is just connect them all together because everyone has just separated themselves based on whatever they want. And so you're just basically trying to connect them all together with like internet. And so you're delivering all of these things to these people who can't go outside because there is an invisible set of monsters that will literally kill you and create craters in the earth if you do die. It's literally the pandemic that we've had
bizarre.
the last 2 years.
It's like almost a euphonetic, or I don't know.
He basically just predicted the entire future. And so there was a joke that he had to rewrite Death Stranding 2 before releasing it because he didn't want to predict the future again.
Well,
but it's such a high. I really recommend it. Yeah.
Speaking of Kojima, what do you guys think about the possibility of the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake? That I did want to talk about it because I know you like Metal Gear, Alex.
I love
Metal Gear. Yeah. Behind D. That's all I could say in David Hayter's voice.
I don't want that remake.
Really?
Snake Eater? You don't want Snake Eater remade?
Mm-mm. I don't want any Metal Gear game remade.
Why?
I feel like every time that somebody tries to remake a Metal Gear game without Kojima, it always turns out terrible. I mean, we saw that with Twin Snakes.
But wasn't he slightly part of it? Wasn't he kind of...
the director, he was like, yeah, just do what you want to the director. He's like, it's fine. It just became this horrid, like, fucking thing. And the problem is, like, a lot of the gameplay mechanics that people want in the new Metal Gear games won't fit from old Metal Gear games because the limitations of those consoles. So what happens is you start having game mechanics that don't work, and then they literally just break the entire game. So I just don't want to. Yeah, I just don't want them to. Like Metal Gear Solid 1, I feel like is a perfect game. Like, don't touch it. Like
What
you can
about-
play MGS1 today and you'll have a great time.
What about a re-release? What do you think about a re-release or maybe a remaster instead of a remake?
I think a remaster would be fine. Yeah.
Because
Widescreen, proper frame rates.
Yeah.
Because they
stuff like that
kind
would
of did
put
it on the 360 and PS3, but they didn't do so well.
Yeah, they really fucked it up. I think the best collection you could possibly get is the PS3 collection. That is the Legacy collection because it has the MSX games as well.
I actually have the American and Japanese version of that game. And the Japanese one's still sealed. Same thing with Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which I think is a good
Awesome.
game.
That game was
That's
awesome.
a great
dude.
game.
Revengeance was so good.
Jose, have you played Revengeance?
I haven't played any Metal Gear.
Oh, we are fixing that.
Well, Revengeance. Well, she's strictly Nintendo, unless they put Revengeance on that. Revengeance is a high octane.
Well, it is
game.
Platinum, and Nintendo and Platinum have been, but then Konami and I don't know.
I have an Xbox. I might get a
You got
PS5.
PC too, right?
I don't know.
Do you have a PC?
I have a Mac, so not really.
So
you
no.
can run Ducky. Ducky's an emulator, and you'll be able to play MGS1.
Okay.
Oh, for
Who
Metal
was
Gear
it that
1.
was talking about Ducky?
Oh, dude. Wasn't RGT talking about Ducky?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, or Duck something. Duck Station.
Duck
No,
Station.
he was
Duck
talking
Station.
about Duck Station.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now he goes on about saying he's a emulation YouTuber.
Good.
Didn't he want to? No. I was thinking Camelot wanted to have a podcast with him. I was like, have you ever done a podcast or talked to RGT85, Alex?
Yeah.
So
I bet we were on a podcast together, I think on Mooch or something like that. But he's a chill dude. Yeah.
okay, because I was like, wait a second, you guys follow each other on Twitter, and I was like, oh, and then when I spoke to him, he's like, yeah, he knew you. I was like, oh,
Yeah, he's a chill dude. He followed me on Twitter when he was like, he started watching my content, and he was like, this is crazy, and I was like, yeah. So we just follow each other because we're also talking a lot about wrestling too. So
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty nifty.
That's
He
dope.
was our what, third guest? What episode was that? Episode 3? 4?
I think it was.
I don't know.
I think it was 3.
Yeah. So, yeah, but thanks
dope,
for
dude.
joining us, Alex. I appreciate that.
man, that's fine.
One thing I did want to ask you about, because I actually didn't watch the video, but I see you've been really opinionated about the whole Xbox thing with the EU and the CMA and everything like that.
Mhm.
What do you think about the approval?
it's fine.
You actually don't think it's going to hurt gaming in any kind of way?
No.
Those
it
are the only videos of yours I haven't watched, just because I'm like, I've been tired of hearing about all this Xbox stuff. I totally stopped covering it. I was
in what
so
way?
annoyed.
Everybody's like it's going to hurt gaming. Okay, tell me how. Like no one can ever explain how. Like Microsoft is not going to become a monopoly magically. Like they're not going to own everything. It's just ABK and Call of Duty. And anyways, Sony is like the top leading console besides the Switch. Honestly, the Switch is the actual console that's leading the actual
Yeah,
industry.
130 million
It's not.
units.
It's not
sold.
PS5. So that whole thing is fucking out the window. The thing is, like, Microsoft can't, like, it's everybody like took the whole thing where he said like, oh, we can't compete. Give you Skylanders. Yeah, exactly. Like for me, it's all about like, I only care about this deal because of Blizzard. That's really all I care about. I want Blizzard to not suck anymore.
Mhm.
That's really what it is. I don't want it to be
Agreed.
trash anymore. I don't want Blizzard to be under like Kotick's fucking thumb anymore. Because that's really the issue that we're seeing is that this is constantly happening with them. So for me, it's just like, give me back my fucking company, like the one that I grew up with. Like I want them back.
I want the
And I think that's-
2012 Blizzard with StarCraft 2 and like all the
Man,
hype around.
I want 1998 Blizzard.
Wow.
That's what I want.
I won't disagree. But
I
we
want
had in
1998.
98, dude. We had what Diablo.
We had it all.
2 was out at the time.
We had Brood War. We had fucking
Brood War,
D2. We had everything,
Right.
man. This was it. That was the
those
jam.
feelings. I think though, for me, I want the, like those type of feelings to come back. I don't know if that can happen. Maybe I'm being too pessimistic. Maybe I'm just getting old and set in my old ways. I do agree with you though. Let's bring back the old Blizzard.
you know?
So
And, like,
you
that
think?
was- go ahead.
Sorry,
No, go
but
ahead.
you think that like by Microsoft acquiring Activision, it's just gonna like help that take that company back essentially? Is that
Not
what you're
really
saying?
take them back. I think the problem is that they're so focused on revenue turning because of the way
Yeah.
Kotick actually operates that business, that they're focused more on providing different ways of monetizing the user rather than actually providing good content. And I think that's really where they've been like led astray. When you look at things like the battle pass for Diablo 4, I think is like a big example. How they're really stressing you're not paying for power. Well, we didn't pay for power in Diablo Immortal either. What we did pay for were the gemstones, which would then give you power after you bought specific currency to then buy those gems and then sync those gems together to then create that player power. So there's a lot of like really weird facets that they're doing. They've also like had this thing where I'm gonna go on a rant for a quick second. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
They've done this thing where you now have this thing called Ashes of Alar. You have your battle pass, which is all cosmetic. Yet in your free pass, you have the ability to gain ashes. Ashes will give you the ability to either gain more gold, gain more experience, level faster, etc. The thing is, though, the first two sets of ashes are at level 10 and level 15. When you buy the battle pass, you get your first 20 levels unlocked immediately. However, though, if you're level faster than your battle pass levels, what happens? You are incentivized to purchase that battle pass to get those ashes to level faster. So thereby, you're not directly paying for power, but what you're paying for is the ability to gain power faster than people who do not pay. Because people who are level 30 or 40 are now hitting level 10 in their battle pass when you could be level 30 or 40 and hitting level 50 or 60 on your battle pass because you paid to have that jump in the beginning. So you're paying for more. Just like Magic Find and Diablo Immortal, you can pay to have better items found for you. You're not given those items directly. And I think that's a big fucking problem because they're going to push that with their seasons, which is why the first season comes out a month after the game's release and not the day of the game's release. Like that's like, these things don't make fucking sense to me.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Amen.
If so, like moving away from that part a little bit. If Microsoft has a ton of companies already, and they seem like they're not outputting a lot. So do you think like Microsoft owning them is going to be a positive thing, or like do you think they're going to sort of plague them like they have with these recent companies where they're sort of putting out things like Redfall or
Redfall
like
is garbage.
putting a lot of pressure on them to release something that's unfinished, or not putting enough pressure on them where they don't come out with games for years, which is seemingly happening with tons of the studios that they've acquired?
I feel like what's going to happen is they're just going to be laying off of them quite a bit in the beginning, mostly because of the fact that there's been so much pressure after they actually get purchased. So you may not even see anything really come out for a while. On top of that, though, Microsoft is in a very strange situation where they have all of these really weird things happening to them where they're not putting out any games or not having the right output. When they do put out games, they're fucking atrocious, like Redfall. So I think the issue that we're seeing too is, what is Microsoft going to really do when they buy them? Are they going to like twist the knife and say, now you're really going to get to work? Or are they just going to let things slide? I think they have to have a really soft touch and do the right thing. They have to just keep an eye on things because 343 basically fumbled the biggest touchdown they could have possibly ever fumbled with Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't get me
And I think
started
also
on
too,
Halo
like
Infinite.
it is the flagship mascot title for your plastic box, and you fuck it up, and that is a major issue, honestly. The fact that you had the cash shop active but zero content for 3 months really speaks volumes into what you guys were thinking about trying to pull off when they did that. So I think too, there needs to be a balance of what they're trying to do. They have to be able to provide content, but still be able to give them the freedom that they need. So I think the best thing to do is for them to look at the projects that are being worked on and say, this is going to work, this is not going to work, and then readjust if necessary. They should have canceled Redfall when they saw the fucking thing. They shouldn't have let that thing slide. Like that was a big, disgusting L that they took, letting that game go out the door.
I heard a little news on that they pushed that out just so they could actually placate the shareholders because they promised certain games within certain quarters and they had nothing. So they were like, hey, Arcane, get it out, fix it as, 343 did with Halo Infinite, because we know that still isn't fixed. But they were doing the same thing, but it's so backfire where this game was just utter garbage, like garbage beyond garbage.
Yeah, that's sort of my apprehension with them with Microsoft now owning Activision is because of their track record so far. Like John is saying, the new Halo game sucked. And like we've talked about Redfall, like you've said, they're going to have to be very, I don't know, specific with how they handle this company. And hopefully that they can do it. Hopefully they handle it well because, I don't know, their track record is just really, really crazy lately. And I think that's probably where most people are coming from.
We're talking almost 10 years since they fumbled the release of the Xbox One. Look at what we've had, or should I say don't have. Look at all the big stuff that they've promised. They did that track thing, what was it, at last year's whatever Xbox showcase where they're like, oh, this is what we're going to have over the next like 2 or 3 years. Apparently, that's all thrown out the window. They're not even going to go with that. We've got no Fable. Forza October-ish. Okay. Look at all the nonsense that's happened with Perfect Dark. Are we ever going to get that? Don't hold your breath. Gear 6, I did a video covering that. The guy who's the voice of JD Phoenix said, I haven't heard crap. Apparently, no one's heard anything. And then an article came out like 2 days ago saying the Coalition, who's developing Gear 6 isn't going to come out for another 2 more games after that. They're working on 2 games before Gear 6. And when was the last time we saw anything from Coalition? I think this might be the nail in the coffin. I think this might be the last console hardware generation as we know it from Microsoft in terms of a disc-based box. It might just be a stream box.
I think if they pull out of the console race, though, it's gonna it's gonna cause a lot more problems than it's gonna solve because then Sony's not gonna have that competition, that drive to push more power, and then the whole industry is gonna kind of crumble.
I agree. I agree. But after that whole interview with Phil, it just he doesn't have any confidence, and you can see he's defeated. He knows the Xbox is a dying brand without that AAA support of a first party AAA support. What are they going to do? Why even buy a Series X right now? Especially, why buy a Series S or Series X when you can play all their games on a PC? You can go get a PC, a great PC, for that can do 10 times as much for just a little bit more.
I see where you're going with it, but remember, like the entry fee for a PC versus a console, especially if you want a decent PC, like even a mid-range PC, you're going to be spending like $1,500+ on a mid-range.
Play it on your phone.
Yes, you can. Or if you want to go console, you can get an Xbox Series S, even though it's a little it doesn't throttle the same horsepower as an X series. Get the Game Pass. You know, maybe that's what they were trying to rely on to begin with. But
that's
they know
exactly
that
what they're doing. Yeah.
So this makes me think right here after what you just said. If they're going to have problems with the FTC, could that lead them to leaving the console wars? Or do you think them leaving can cause issues?
That would cause a myriad of problems. It just doesn't pay off for them to pull out because they've had a bad 2 generations, but there's always a chance to bounce back. Everyone was like, oh, Nintendo's done. They should just be a third party when they had the Wii U. And now they have the most successful console they've ever had. Yep. So if Microsoft just gives up and is defeated, which Phil might be, he's replaceable. So it's not like the brand is going to just, he is.
Right.
You're not
he's
wrong.
just a person. The brand will live on with or without him. And if he's defeated and he has no faith in it, they're going to bring in someone who's, has that faith in it, who wants to fix Xbox, because Microsoft has a lot of money. So it's not like because there's so much more than Xbox, right? They have like so many other things. So it's not really like Xbox might be a loss, but it's not like destroying their company. And if they can garner it back, it's just more revenue in their pocket. So there's no point and there's no good that can come out of them leaving the console race, in my opinion.
And you know what? Oh, I see a thing. Come on. There we go. actually, I like this one. I always wanted a reason to buy an Xbox, but they haven't really given any reason to purchase one. This year, correct. What have they given you, the consumer, a reason to buy an Xbox? What reason besides a million controllers? We've had more controllers come out this year than games from Microsoft. We've had more controllers come out this year than games from Microsoft in the last 3 years.
I think it goes back to the Game Pass, man. I really feel like
Yeah, it does.
they're
But
trying
Game Pass, developers have been saying Game Pass is hurting. And developers are starting to pull out of Game Pass because they're like, we're not making money. There's no reason to put these games on Xbox. It was something I was reading the other day. I have to pull it up. It was on Pure Xbox. It was an article, and they were talking. They only named 2, but they started saying how developers were complaining that they weren't making money off of their games when they go to Game Pass as much as they would if they were solely physical. But then people are coming with the argument saying that people wouldn't even know your game exists if it wasn't for Game Pass. So it's a catch-22.
There's also other games as well that like do incredibly well because of Game Pass.
Like Hi-Fi Rush.
Not just that, but
I still need to play that game. It looked awesome.
Every time
one with the vampires? I forgot what that one, but one of my friends told me about it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, vampire crap, not
Diaries."
crap.
My roommates have been on a kick.
I was gonna say Diaries. I'm glad you said that, not me.
Wow. Okay. No, it was like I forget what it is, but it blew up because of Game Pass. And I even downloaded. I never would have downloaded it. Never even looked at it twice.
You know what? Here's the thing. People want to point fingers when their game doesn't do as good as somebody else's. So I think what we just pointed out was it like in anything in business, you have to take risks. So if somebody who knows like, hey, we're going to get exposure here for this game and see how long they're going to have that deal with Microsoft, that's a business choice. I think if a developer comes back and says, well, you know, our games aren't getting exposed, the same exposure. And this maybe A, you made the wrong decision, and B, your game's just not that good. So I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. You know what I mean?
No, agree.
I mean, there are a lot of games that are bad that always tend to come out for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
It's like Game Pass. I like to call Game Pass indie Game Pass because it's mainly indie games on there with a handful of, I guess you could say, AAA titles, but the AAA titles are either old or once in a blue moon, it's a first-party game. So not to say that the indie games are bad by any means, but is it worth what you're paying for it to get those indie games, which you might play for, who knows, some you might play for 10 minutes, others you might play for 10 hours. But
I'm just thinking here. I think Xbox, now correct me if I'm wrong, is kind of having an identity crisis right now. Because I feel like if I'm going to go play Nintendo, I know the type of games and the things that I'm going to get in. Like, I know that there's a lot of chill games, a lot of like, I don't know. Nintendo has its own identity, especially with their internal IPs, right? And then you look at PlayStation. PlayStation has, you know, they continue to go off of like we have the highest power. You want some good AAA exclusives. We got them. And
well, the Series X is actually more powerful than the PS5.
But I mean, okay, I'll take your word for it.
Doesn't matter.
But I'm just saying, like, where's and
right?
This might be my ignorance. Where's Microsoft's identity? Because Halo just collapsed. So what identity does Microsoft really have to push people to be on their side? I don't know. I don't know what it is.
One. It used to be Dude Bro, but it doesn't have that anymore.
Yeah, you're right. Especially with what they did to the Gears series. Don't let me get started on that. But, you know, it got a lot of people into the console because of the big shooters. And Halo, Call of Duty. That was the first place to play Call of Duty. And then your Gears of War and then your Crackdown. You know, you had these games that were like, when you thought Xbox, you thought these games. Now, PlayStation, I feel like you said, PlayStation had the first identity crisis when they went from PS3 to PS4, and they went from all these creative Japanese games in the PS2 era and early PS3, and then PS4 was all third-person, over-the-shoulder adventure games. So we've had a million of those, but now Microsoft is in the point where they're like, I don't know what we're doing. Let's throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. That's kind of what I feel they're doing. So, yeah, I agree with the whole identity crisis thing. So, but I can go into this Microsoft nonsense for hours because, hey, if you guys didn't know, I used to work for Microsoft.
Bro,
somebody,
shut the fuck up.
Somebody said,
Shut
I've
the
heard it.
fuck up.
Used to work for Microsoft. That was you, Logan?
I think so. I might have mentioned it once or twice.
You talk too much.
Isn't that what we're supposed to do on YouTube? Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
No, bro. Like, no, you literally talk too much.
I know what you mean. To be honest, I didn't care about that. I was like, I use it as a crutch. I've got nothing else. I've got nothing else.
If they brought Counter-Strike to Xbox, I would hate to hear all the complaints because
It would never work.
The competitiveness and the player base for Counter-Strike, especially on PC, you'll get dominated.
You know it's on 360, right?
Is it?
Yeah, CSGO's on 360.
That's the first place I played it.
Are servers still live to play
Yeah, yeah.
it off of 360? Which, I mean, they're
Isn't it
live
backwards
on
compatible?
PC. It's still huge on PC.
I think
Yes,
it's backwards
you
compatible.
can totally play that game on 360. In fact, I think it's like a 1.0 version. It hasn't been updated ever since.
Yes, Sony. I almost did. Not gonna
There's
lie.
been hacker problems with CSGO lately. I haven't even bothered with it.
Lately,
Well, I mean, I'm
shit.
just saying there's been a little bit of an uptick considering what it's usually at. To be
a
fair.
little bit.
That game is so toxic. I just shut the whole. I just mute everything.
It's perfect.
Unless you're into that. Oh man, you're in for a treat. It is horrendous.
You know, they've like really reduced it quite a bit, actually, like the
Have they?
toxicity thing. Yeah. So they used to do things like there used to be halftime lobbies where you would be able to talk to the opposing team before every match and at the halftime mark. And so it was like the most vile shit you could
It's
possibly
bad.
say. It
Like
was
you think
awesome.
COD is bad? Oh, CS:GO.
Awesome. It
Shits
felt
on
like being a kid again, like 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put this old man to bed. Like, here we go, baby.
Yeah.
Like that's what it felt like being back in a COD lobby. But it is one of those games, man. Like you can be there. I think I have like over 1,100 hours into it.
Oh, so you've been playing. I don't have that many hours in, but
Yeah,
I've
I can pull
clocked
it
in
up real quick.
a
Let me
bit.
see.
So wait, you're talking like back in the old 360 days of Modern Warfare 2 and Halo 3?
Yeah, like
Those kind
they
of
can't do it
lobbies?
anymore. They've removed that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's gone.
Because I was like,
But
man, those
we
days.
used to say
those
we say
days.
the vilest shit, and then
Real bad stuff.
oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
great though, and like you would just fucking like honestly like that's where you would cut your teeth. But like I think like now if you want to meet a girl, you play Valorant.
Yeah, exactly.
What is?
Oh,
If you want a
so
girlfriend-
right. Oh, dude.
If
What
you
is
want
Valorant?
a girlfriend, you play Valorant.
What is
It's
Valorant?
so fun.
Or you could go outside.
This is
No, you're gonna have a better chance at Valorant. Trust me.
What is that?
a
Game?
lot of girls play Valorant.
A lot of girls play Valorant.
They really.
Why?
Well, every time I've played, always in a lobby with at least one or two of them. Always.
Why?
And they're good.
Valorant. It's basically their version of CS:GO.
Yeah, with abilities
It's basic
and stuff.
Like, yeah, it literally is just like they even call their op the operator. Like it is literally like they take words and like it's structured the same way. There's just abilities and characters with it
Yeah,
instead.
movement, everything, like weapon
Movement's the same,
kickback,
shooting's
all
the
that stuff.
same.
Like
Yeah.
you
What
can't
is it
you
on?
can't be moving and
PC?
firing at the same time. Put it that way.
Is it just on PC?
Yeah,
Okay.
Very
it's very
competitive.
low, it's very low end. It's very any PC can run it.
No, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it. I have no.
You have to know
no
the
interest in
map,
PC.
know the call outs, every spot on the map, you know, just like on CS:GO on Dust, like long door, mid, like, you know, you need to know the maps. This way you don't play competitively. You just go into a public lobby and tell people, listen, I just started playing this game, go easy.
I might
And
buy that,
everyone's
though.
usually pretty friendly, believe it or not. Haven't
Yeah,
ran into
Valorant's
bad
actually
people.
super friendly, which is kind of wild.
Alex, what do you think about the Asus ROG Ally? What do you think about that?
At 15 watts, it's not competing with the Steam Deck. The problem
Uh-huh.
is though that at higher wattage it does beat it. I think a 1080p screen is perfect. I would have wanted one on the Steam Deck. At the same token though, I feel like trying to like say, oh, it's 120 FPS or whatever. That's stupid because then it's like an hour of battery life. So stop it. and I think there's a lot of like really good ideas, but also really dumb ones. There's no trackpads, which makes no fucking sense to me. Because like, how are you going to operate like a mouse cursor in that thing? So it's all touch screen, but like it's weird.
Isn't it Windows based?
It's Windows based, and Windows does not do well in like a tablet format.
Do not like
really
Windows on a
bad.
tablet. Yeah.
Yeah, it does not do well. So it's like I don't know, man. For $700, bro. Like if you're that opposed to Linux, sure. But if you think this is going to be like a Game Pass handheld, it's not going to be that either.
Okay, because I was wondering if I should get that or just continue playing it on my phone with my Razer Kishi, and that's all I use. Yeah, that's I would say, what was it? High on Life? Is that the one made by the guys from Rick and Morty?
Yeah,
that one's so good.
So dude, I could laugh all the way through the whole game.
That's the reason I bought Game Pass, was to play that game, and then once I beat it, I ended my subscription.
I kept my subscription going because Atomic Heart came out too, and I still need to finish Atomic Heart. Boy, that's a fun one to get lost into.
They come out with another one of those, catch me re-upping it, but anything else, I don't care.
You know what? I don't blame you. I'm actually letting my Game Pass, my Xbox Live for the first time in 17 years, because it just said I've had it for 17 years. This is the first time I'm letting it expire, because I do not play any of those games. I downloaded MLB 23, the show, and I was like, man, the only sports game I ever play, and it's the only game I've downloaded since GoldenEye. In 3-4 months? I think it's been 4 months. Those are the only 2 games that I've been playing on Xbox. And then, yeah, because of Game Pass. That's it. Otherwise, I'm playing, what is it? Star Wars. What other reason is there to pay for Game Pass?
I mean, that's like, that's the thing. Like, that's why they want Activision, because of the content that they'll be able to provide to that service.
But that's Diablo 4 is not going to be on it.
If they buy them in time.
June?
No, that's not going to be done by June.
Yeah,
mergers and acquisitions, man. You have law firms doing these things. It's not like it's just it. And
to be honest, I wasn't thrilled with the beta. I played it. I did like the fact that I started the beta on Series X and then continued it on my PS5. Yeah. That was cool. But I will say the Series X version actually looks worse than the PS5 version on just simple things like character hair and details like that. The PS5 actually looked better.
But remember, you're playing a beta. They'll probably fix it. That's why they. Don't
stop that excuse. That excuse has never fucking worked in 20 years.
That's what they said about Halo Infinite. It's the same damn shit.
Every fucking time I hear that excuse, it's like, okay, we'll see. And then what happens? I'm right. And I fucking hate being right. It's the same shit. Because when I'm right, it's the worst fucking thing. It's never like a good thing when I'm right. It's always the bad outcome. It's like it's like I'm a monkey's paw. Like it's like the worst possible outcome. You guys, you don't know about the monkey's paw story? The Twilight Zone or the monkey's paw, where you get 3 wishes.
Remember they did that on The Simpsons too? Yeah. They even did a parody on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Where he found the hand and
it's always the worst possible outcome. Like, I want to live forever. Okay. You're going to get it. Like, it's never right. It even happened with Battlefield 3. Oh, it's a beta. They'll fix it. Didn't fucking work day one. Like, ever since
That's true.
That is true. Shit, man. Like, they'll fix it after the day 1 patch. Sure.
I miss Bad Company. That was such a good series.
A lot of people like that game.
Yeah, that was my favorite. I think that was the Battlefield I played the most. I'd say Battlefield 1 was the one I played the most. I did play Battlefield 2, but Bad Company 1, I played that more than Bad Company 2. Yeah, Bad Company. Oh, I miss days of good games. Remember when games would come out and they wouldn't need a day 1 patch?
Yeah.
Now everything. I don't think I've played a game. Sorry, Tears of the Kingdom did not have. Oh no, yes it did. Sorry, it even had a day 1 update. So I can't even think about a game that I've played. No, that hasn't had a day 1 update in a long time.
They all do it now, sadly.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So
better that they do it than they don't, because they're fixing something for us to play. I mean, that's just the day and age that we live in.
Wow, I just realized we've gone just about as long as we normally do. Do you guys want to go any longer? Do you want to call it a night? I know we normally only do about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours if we push it. So tell me what you guys want, or otherwise, maybe in the chat. No, there's you guys.
I mean,
oh, okay.
you guys
I hate to be a
can.
party pooper, but I do have to leave soon.
I
Oh,
do.
okay.
I do
I
have to
also
pick up.
do.
Yeah, I probably should, but yeah, I gotta. As soon as I'm done here, I actually have more work to do.
Nice.
So, all right, if you guys want to call it a night, thank you guys so much. Remember, like we always do, start with Alex. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, you can just find me on my YouTube channel. It's at OhNoItsAlexx. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can, although I do like porn tweets, so be careful with that. That's your fault if you like them too.
Sign me up,
at
dude.
the
I
it
gotta
doesn't
follow
fucking
you.
matter. Like, I'm a degenerate. I don't care. I'm an old man. And then, it's really shit posting is really all it is. So if you want shit posting, that's what I normally post. But yeah, just check me out there. It's the same thing. I don't know. It's Alex, and that's it.
Josie?
You can find me on YouTube at Josie Woe. I just started streaming on Twitch again. That's also Josie Woe. I make
Space or
Nintendo
together?
space.
Okay.
I think on Twitch it's an underscore, Josie_Woe. On YouTube it's just a space. I make a lot of Nintendo content. I'm doing a lot of stuff about Tears of the Kingdom on the down low.
Nice.
And yeah, come vibe.
Nick?
You can find me always at Click to Enlarge. Everything is Click to Enlarge. Streaming, lately I've been toning down my streaming a little bit. I do a lot of just hangs. I do still stream COD. I still stream Apex Legends, but otherwise you just catch me on my YouTube shorts and Instagram stuff for some laughs and goofs and gaffs at Click to Enlarge.
Thank you guys. And well, if you're watching here, you know who I am because, yeah, you're watching on my channel. But you guys know I've been doing a lot of, I'm guilty, Zelda content lately. Everything, I've been riding that wave, and it's been doing all right. So yeah, just continue to watch. I've got another Zelda video coming tomorrow, but it's not what you think. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. You guys know all to do, all that nonsense and BS that we have to say at the end of every cast. But make sure you subscribe to everybody down here and all you guys watching this after it goes live. Thank you for watching it there as well. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.